Please try again.
Okay, can you see the slides?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's fine. So, I think hello to everyone. I'll be very brief. I want to give an overview of the space landscape in Ghana and the opportunities that the space industry presents to the young ones. So, okay. So the whole space vision of Ghana, I'll say it began, that is after the signing of the African Square Kilometer Array Partnership bid, led by the South Africans to develop a radio astronomy project in Ghana. And the main vision of establishing this whole space sector in the country was to harness the power of space science for the socio-economic development of Ghanaians. So this agreement, when this SK agreement was signed, the Ghana Space Center was formed in 2011, which later became the Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute under the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology. In 2017, the radio astronomy project, the engineering phase was completed, and it was inaugurated by the president, so that Ghana also can join other African countries and the other countries in the other parts of the world to do radio astronomy analysis. So like the very VLBI studies. So after 2017, we also realized that many national institutions in Ghana embark on different endeavors using the space science technology, but these efforts were uncoordinated and not actually monitored. So there was a need to establish Ghana National Space Policy, or the National Space Policy, with a main focus on bringing all these fragmented activities together and provide guidelines for everyone who wants to plug in the space sector in the country. So in 2022, the Cabinet of Ghana approved the National Space Policy, and it's we are in the process of getting it launched so that other stakeholders can can plug in, especially the investors. And actually, this year we hope the Ghana Space Agency will be formed. We're giving ourselves November for the agency to be formed. I'll also give quick highlight on I think the slides on a moment. Okay, so the key objectives of the Ghanaian space program, one is to coordinate all the space-related activities in Ghana, as I said before, and also to strategically position the country in terms of investors and also in terms of research and development, and also to build capacity, also to sustain the space program, and also in terms of research, inspire the next generation who want to take up careers in the space sector, and also to provide to promote local entrepreneurship in the country in terms of STEM education and also development, and also through research and development also project science and technology in from the basic level to the tertiary, and also to let people also feel and understand how space programs or how space technology can be incorporated in their daily, like day-to-day lives. So I'll give very few highlights on the space policy from the space policy. So from the space policy, in terms of space education and human resource development, the policy highlights the agency in collaboration with the Ministry of Education will come up with well-structured curriculum in space science, engineering, technology, and astronomy to inculcate these kind of programs in the educational sector. Also, the agency and the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Communication, Ministry of Education, we're going to provide incentives, that is in terms of scholarships, to support the youth and also to support young women in this area of space science technology. And all these are the implementation strategy that are highlighted in the space policy. Also, when you talk of infrastructure development, you know infrastructure development remains one of the key areas to promote and enhance space science technology. And one cannot do with these infrastructure developments. And although they are capital intensive, through the policy highlight ways in which that the country is going to fund some of these infrastructure projects. And this is what is going to inspire the next generation to take up careers in those areas. Also, space applications and commercialization. Also, the policy also highlights incentives being provided for private entities, especially young startups that want to start up their own space technology firms. And I think in Ghana, we have some startups that are coming. And once the policy is being implemented, they will have the opportunity to start up their business with incentives. And this is from between the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology and the Ministries of Finance. And also we want to establish a dedicated market that is in the country where some of these space technologies will be manufactured locally here, and the local manufacturers will have incentives or will have some tax waivers on their production. And lastly, also on the regulatory framework, also it's well highlighted that so that it will have a one-stop shop for if an investor wants to come into the country, there'll be a one hub that is the space agency that's going to coordinate all the necessary regulatory requirements, all the necessary things that they will need to establish themselves or to plug in into the benefits of the space area. There are some challenges, and these challenges I think cuts across because when you talk of the space agency and the space sector, the Ghana Space Program competes with other national priorities for funding. So definitely, it's an issue. And but from the policy, it's clearly highlighted government committed to support the space agency, and also infrastructure development and workforce, as I said before, because this area requires the critical masses and the human capital. It's really necessary, and it's not only having the skill set to use them to establish the agency, but you also need to constantly train people who will fill this wide area of space science. So the skill workforce is a challenge, but through our collaboration with the ministries, we are going to fill this up. As I said before, there'll be training and there'll be curriculum development, which will inculcate, which will be fixed into the curriculum from the basic level to the senior level. Now, some of the applications that we've been involved in over the past years is the main astronomy, where we observe our stars, we observe our galaxies through the radio telescope. We recently installed the maser, which was the main component that we needed to conduct the VLBI analysis. And the facility is open to students. Last year, we had 2,000 students visiting, and we also do training. That's a direct training where uh, students from other African countries visit the observatory for training. It's open for internship. It's open for those who want to carry out their master's and PhD work to use the observatory to do their thesis. And also, we'll also be involved in applications that is remote sensing in terms of pop-up development, in terms of lands and natural resource, also monitoring and space awareness and training. There've been lots of awareness because we realize that is the main issue here to get people to really understand what we are losing, not investing so much in space science, and also to inspire the next generation in terms of what is in for them in the space sector. So there've been lots of awareness training, and there also been lots of outreaches. The satellite development, in collaboration with the All Nations University, they're working with the Egyptians to develop the AFDEFSAT. That is a CubeSat being developed by in collaboration with we have Ghana, we have Egypt, and other countries coming together to develop this CubeSat. And this is for training also, and it's also for monitoring our countries in terms of our border and in terms of our lands and natural resources. And the Space Agency development, currently, we already have the policy developed and approved, and we are in the phase 2 where we are looking at launching the policy and making the policy available to the world, to everybody that wants to plug in. We'll have the documents available, and also to develop the Space Act, which we've started, and to get a space agency launched this year. Then the phase 3 will be the development of the necessary infrastructure for the country. So thank you very much.
Yeah, from Ghana, and I think you've mentioned something which is so important about African development.